This is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Topping our news today at noon, more details are surfacing about a recent murder at a Lakewood Ranch park. The body of 23-year-old Alexander Sherp was found near his four-door Mercedes in Greenbrook Park in the early morning hours of February 5th. Detectives now say Sherp was shot sometime between 11 o'clock and 11:30 the night before. So far, 2 possible suspects have been identified, but no arrests have been made. Anyone who may have seen this Mercedes or someone in the area at the time of the murder is asked to call the Manatee County Sheriff's Office or Crime Stoppers at 866-634-TIPS. New at noon, the attorney who's representing a former Sarasota County Sheriff's deputy charged with attempted murder is now asking to step down from that case. The attorney for Frankie Bybee asking a judge to withdraw. The former deputy is charged with 6 felonies, including attempted murder and criminal use of personal identification. No reason was given for the attorney's request. He's expected to have a hearing next month. Manatee County School Board meeting today to discuss benchmark testing. Schools provide the benchmark to assess how students have mastered what has been taught during the quarter and if any adjustments need to be made. But it's not a state-mandated test. That would be the Florida Standards Assessment. The public is invited to today's workshop. It begins at 3 o'clock at the School Support Center. That's on 63rd Avenue East in Bradenton. And starting today, local veterans can have a one-stop shop for groceries. The Veterans Pantry opening this morning at the Church of the Palms Presbyterian Church on Bee Ridge Road in Sarasota. It's the first time the pantry has been open so far this year. Veterans with a military ID can pick up food there. And one man we talked to used to be one of the vets who were using the pantry, and now he works there as a volunteer.
Something I've learned along the way, and that is that hunger doesn't have any voice. There's no voice whatsoever, and there's a lot of hungry people out there. And the food bank was so wonderful to me that I stayed on, and here I am.
Pantry will be open again on February 28th and then every 2 weeks that follow until December 26th from 10 o'clock in the morning until noon. Happening today, the Pittsburgh Pirates are on the field for their first official workout at Pirate City in Bradenton. Yesterday was reporting day for pitchers and catchers. The Pirates will have its first full squad workout on Friday. At the Orioles camp in Sarasota, today is the first day of workouts for pitchers and catchers as well. ABC 7's Ray Collins is just back from Ed Smith Stadium with details of this morning's activities. Ray?
Scott, opening spring game is about 10 days away now, but today some fans trickled in to watch opening workouts. Not a lot of action this morning. Players were in meetings as support staff prepared the practice fields. Pitchers and catchers today, and the full team is due on Friday. And some local fans say they can't get enough.
Are you from Baltimore?
I'm from Indiana.
You're a Baltimore fan?
I am now, sure. I come and watch them every spring down here. We vacation in Florida in the wintertime, and so I just come to the ballpark and have a good time.
The Orioles, they love Sarasota, and we love our relationship and being part of the community. Since the Orioles started training here in this beautiful facility, we've had a really good record.
So the first game is a week from Saturday in Bradenton against the Pirates. And of course, the Orioles love playing here. They have done well since they moved to Sarasota from Fort Lauderdale. And also they love being here because it is snowing right now up north, gentlemen.
That's very true. I would bet. And fairly good crowd, I would expect, on this first day. Right?
Yeah, a dozen or so. But right now there's nothing going on. But still fans are there waiting for some activity. Today they'll do mostly conditioning exercises, maybe some catch.
Right.
Not too much.
Okay, start them off slow, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice weather for it out there. And no rain today, so that's a good sign, right? Good omen, I guess, for the season ahead. We're looking at some cloudy skies to start off the day, but you know what? None of it really producing any rainfall for us. Over on the other coast, they had a few scattered showers, but we stayed dry. This is all part of a warm front lifting north, promising to bring us higher humidity throughout the afternoon as winds shift around to the south, as they already have, actually. You're looking at sustained winds here across the region, all coming out of the southwest. They'll probably shift a little more southeast with time today, but the bottom line is it is the precursor to setting the stage for a few scattered showers tomorrow. Now, not today. Today we're good. We're looking at maybe even a little clearing skies as we head into the later evening hours. And for festivities out on the beaches, both Sarasota and Venice, everything looks fine. I don't see any rain in the forecast, but it might be a little on the humid side at times during the afternoon. We'll have the complete forecast for you, including possibility of some severe weather coming up in just a few. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. Reduced speed limits are slowing drivers on Holmes Beach. The speed has been reduced from 45 to 35 miles an hour from the mainland along Manatee Avenue. And then once you enter Holmes Beach, the speed is cut down from 35 to 25 miles an hour. The police chief is asking the state to put up new signs to alert drivers of the changes. But a few drivers not so thrilled with the slower limits.
I wasn't too thrilled because I thought it was slow enough to begin with, in my honest opinion. But yeah, I think the residents, they already have to deal with enough traffic.
I think that might be a better thing for people to drive to this island because, you know, I've walked across that bridge and they've been driving, I've seen people drive very fast over that, and that's dangerous.
City commissioners will discuss the slower speed limits at tonight's meeting. Meanwhile, the Coast Guard is looking to change how often traffic has to stop to allow tall boats to sail under drawbridges. The agency wants to reduce the schedule to twice an hour rather than every 20 minutes. That change would impact bridges including Siesta's North Bridge as well as the Anna Maria bridges. To find out where to submit your feedback, you can go to our website, mysuncoast.com, and just look for this story. Well, today is Valentine's Day, and if you still have not found a gift for your sweetheart, it's going to cost you. For example, a dozen long-stemmed roses will set you back on average about $140. That's about an 8.4% increase from last year's price. Greeting cards have also jumped more than 16% in price. Rising prices could be the reason Valentine's Day spending is expected to fall for the first time in a decade. While consumers spending about $18.2 billion this year, that's down from $19 billion a year ago. And let's face it, there's no place more hectic than a flower shop today. Staff at Beneva Flowers and Gift Shop in Sarasota say they've been open since 5:30 this morning, getting ready for the rush. At least 35 vans started loading up bouquets as early as 7:30 this morning. The general manager says on an average day they can make up to 200 deliveries, but on Valentine's Day that number soars to more than 1,100 deliveries.
Designers, bless their heart, have been working till 1 o'clock in the morning, so they've put in a lot of hours working very hard getting everybody's deliveries ready for them.
Beneva says it will keep delivering until the last flowers arrive at their destinations today. And happening this evening, expect to see hundreds of lovebirds out in Siesta and Venice beaches for the annual Say I Do ceremony. The non-denominational service gives couples the opportunity to renew their vows. Each couple will get a certificate, event gift, flower, and light refreshments. Ceremonies start at 6 o'clock tonight, but couples are encouraged to arrive early. Time now to head over to the kitchen for the first time. We have our guest chef today, Joe DiMaggio, joining us from Cafe Barboso in Sarasota. Joe, great to see you. What's on your menu for today?
So we're going to teach the gents how to do some pan-seared scallops with some beautiful heirloom carrots, tarragon beurre blanc. It's going to be amazing.
It all sounds delicious,
Yeah.
and we need the help, don't we?
Yeah.
We'll be right back. Thank you, Chef.
ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you weeknights at 5.
Gold fever is at an all-time high in the Sunshine State with the new Gold Rush Doubler family of scratch-off games. Everyone is rushing to Florida to strike it doubly rich. With over $1 billion in total cash prizes, the Florida Gold Rush is on. The Florida Lottery, just imagine.
We consider the first 60 minutes the golden hour, the time that we can do the most to affect how a patient's going to do. I think what motivates all of us is that at the other end of it, we see them, smiling and happy and going back to their families. That's our greatest satisfaction. Sarasota Memorial Hospital is just an amazing place to take care of people.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
I got some really great ribeyes, but my old grill died.
We got a lot of grills here.
I show Clay a 3-burner with stainless steel grates. We'll even set it up and deliver it for him.
Ace is a place where you'll feel like you're in grill heaven. Only you won't run into your old grill. That would be awkward.
I'm gonna need more ribeyes.
Don't miss these February red hot buys on Wild Bird Food and Scott's Bonus S Weed and Feed. 6 convenient Sarasota locations and now open in Bradenton, Northport, and soon Osprey.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we're looking at an air temperature of 74 degrees with a mix of sun and clouds out there currently and a dew point of 63. Dew point's on the rise. We had a little bit of brief break, I guess, from the dew point during the nighttime hours last night. Now that dew point has risen again thanks to winds that are shifting. West right now at about 9, continuing to shift. And kind of pumping up the moisture, getting the humidity up there a little bit. So while today should be a fairly dry day across the region, maybe Highlands County gets a sprinkle, but even there I doubt it. We will notice an increase in the kind of sticky factor to the air. Should be all right, though. Near the beaches, we'll have an onshore wind flow. 76 degrees, Wauchula, Arcadia at 7 to 7. 76 degrees, Mayaca City. Parrish at 74. Bradenton 75. Lakewood Ranch 74. 75 in Northport. Down 71 in Punta Gorda, also in Inglewood, 73 in Venice, and 68 cool degrees at Longboat Key. Not much in the way of any kind of rainfall across the region. Don't really expect any. There are a few sprinkles out in Gulf waters, but none of that all of it really pales in comparison to what's going on back to the west. We have an area of low pressure that is actually kind of responsible in a way for our warm front that moved through here today and the cloud cover that we have, even though it is so far away. It has set up a strong line of storms, and there's a decent chance today of severe weather in the Texas, Louisiana, northern Gulf Coast. We already have some watch boxes up for tornadoes this morning and into the afternoon. And that frontal boundary will be approaching us tomorrow with a possible threat of some severe weather. The low pressure area itself will be lifting off to the north and to the east, but it will be close enough to the Florida coastline that as the front approaches, that warm front lifts north as it has done today. The southerly wind flow returns, the moisture increases, and with that front approaching, this line of storms begins to develop. That line will move through here probably around drive time tomorrow, anywhere between about 4 and 7, I'd say. And with that comes a potential threat for some severe weather. That's tomorrow. It's not tonight. Tonight looks fine. Warm afternoon, dry skies, sun-cloud mix, we'll call it, and increasing humidity. You can see a little bit of the cloud cover that's around as this frontal boundary lifts north, but we'll also see a little better chance at some sunshine as we get a little drier air kind of coming up from the south. Oh, by the way, the latest reports in from Mote Marine on the red tide status are showing improved conditions this morning. Siesta Key now coming in, according to the reports, with no irritants in the air. So that's great. That's a big improvement there. And Venice only showing slight issues with the air quality and respiratory distress. So all of the winds coming up out of the south a little bit later on tonight, adding to the moisture across the region. Patchy fog, a possibility tomorrow morning with that increase in moisture. Rainfall futurecast put into motion shows that humidity, but not much in the way of rain showers. And then that front moving through tomorrow, then everything kind of clearing out by the time we hit Thursday morning. I think we're looking at some pretty nice weather around here, slightly cooler. As far as boating goes today, east winds shifting to the southwest, eventually to the south at about 10 knots. Should be pretty nice. Look for about a 40% chance of storms tomorrow as that line moves through, monitoring for severe weather, and then slightly cooler Thursday, Friday, with another chance of rain on Saturday. Scott?
Okay, John, thank you so much. In health news today, engineers at the University of Michigan are working to make crash test dummies look more like real people. And for many, that means looking older and a little heavier. One is an obese dummy that weighs 273 pounds. Another is a dummy based on an overweight 70-year-old woman. The obese dummy is more than 100 pounds heavier than a normal crash test dummy. The engineers believe the new type of dummies will give car manufacturers a more realistic idea of their consumer and a better perspective of injuries that could be suffered in a crash. New numbers show the number of kids abusing substances may be dropping for the most part. Kim Hutcherson has more details.
Drug use among American teenagers went down in 2016. A recent study found the overall use of alcohol, marijuana, prescription medications, and illicit substances dropped in U.S. teens in the last year. The study, funded by the National Institute on Drug Abuse, surveyed nearly 50,000 8th, 10th, and 12th grade students from public and private schools. The research found that illicit drug use, like cocaine and heroin, among 8th graders was at the lowest level in the survey's history. And in all 3 grades, use of illegal drugs over the past year also dropped, except for pot. Marijuana use among 8th graders did decline in the last year, from 6.5% to 5.4%. However, 10th and 12th grade marijuana use did not change. The study found higher rates of pot use among older students in states that legalized medical marijuana. In 2016, nearly 40% of seniors living in states with medical marijuana laws reported smoking pot. In states without medical marijuana laws, just over 33% of seniors reported using the drug. For today's Health Minute, I'm Kim Hutcherson.
Older celebrity dads are shining light on the risks and rewards to becoming a father later in life. Recently, actor George Clooney announced he'll be a father to twins. He's 55 years old. But doctors say, contrary to popular belief, men's fertility does not drop as sharply as women's as they age. As a matter of fact, many can have biological children long after they're old and gray without the need for technology to intervene. But there could be some downfalls. According to a Swedish study, dads older than 45 are more likely to have children with schizophrenia, autism, and other psychiatric disorders. However, the risk of such conditions are still extremely low, below 1%. Some positive medical news for actor Hugh Jackman. He had a 6th skin cancer removed from his face. He posted a picture on Instagram after the procedure showing off his bandaged nose. Under the picture, he said, quote, "Thanks to frequent body checks and amazing doctors, all is well. Looks worse with the dressing on than off, I swear." Jackman is using his story to warn people about the dangers of sun exposure and advise people to wear sunscreen. Coming up next on your Suncoast News, a major lawsuit on the table for a one-time sporting icon. The consequences Lance Armstrong could face for his actions at the Tour de France. And then later, how one couple is hoping to use the money for their wedding to feed millions of hungry children in Africa. Those stories when we come back.
Once upon a time, there were children who didn't know the magic of books. They didn't have stories to introduce them to enchanting characters. Now you can give stories that change lives. Go to magicofstorytelling.com to give all children the chance to follow their dreams.
ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you, weeknights at 5.
With Granny Nannies, they get to stay in the comfort of their own home.
It still gives them the dignity and the respect that they deserve. I do everything I can to make their lives easier.
To see them smile, to be there on their bad days as well as their good days, and be able to make their bad days a better day. It's about giving them the quality of life they deserve. I am Granny Nannies, a helping hand and a gentle heart.
Florida's last private island is a waterfront lifestyle like no other. This is Harbor Isle, just 5 minutes from the sugar sand beaches of Anna Maria Island. This sun-splashed paradise invites you to enjoy natural adventures and all the recreation of a tropical resort. Island coach homes and waterfront condos are now available from the high 400s. Don't miss the Luxury by the Bay event, Saturday, January 21st from noon till 4 p.m. at Harbor Isle. Water ski show, luxury cars, wine tasting, model home tours, and more.
Flooring Depot has been serving Sarasota and Manatee counties for over 20 years with the best products and installation. Flooring Depot offers carpet, tile, hardwood, and more. Before you buy, give us a try. Stop by our showroom or visit us on the web at bestvaluecarpet.com.
As the only certified surgeon of excellence in metabolic and bariatric surgery in the area, Dr. Joseph Chepley has performed more than 1,300 successful bariatric surgeries. Join us on ABC7 News from 5 to 6:30 p.m. on Thursday, February 23rd. Dr. Joseph Chepley and his talented staff will be taking your phone calls as we discuss what makes someone a good candidate for surgery and the different options available to patients in our area. Thursday, February 23rd.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
New legal trouble this afternoon for Lance Armstrong. The disgraced cycling champion is now set to face a jury over a $100 million lawsuit from the government, resulting from his years of cheating to win the Tour de France 7 times. The United States Postal Service sponsored Armstrong's team at the time. Now the government claims the Postal Service would not have paid more than $32 million to sponsor the team if it knew he and the team were cheating. Observers say the lawsuit is one he's fought hard to avoid for years.
This is a devastating turn of events for a man who used to be an American hero and now is just seeing one bad thing after another happen in his life.
The case was initially brought by Armstrong's teammate turned whistleblower Floyd Landis, who told it all to ABC News in 2010. Armstrong has mostly disappeared from public view and is now hosting his own eclectic podcast from the wine cellar of his home. The University of Connecticut's women's basketball team making history last night by winning its 100th consecutive game, beating South Carolina 66-55. The team now has more consecutive wins than any other team in sports, including John Wooden's great UCLA Bruins teams, which won 88 in a row back in the 1970s. Between 2008 and 2010, UConn won 90 consecutive games. The team will try to win its 20th national championship later this season. Here at home, the Humane Society of Sarasota County is making it easier for you to get a four-legged Valentine. Starting today, adoption fees will be reduced to just $14 for all shelter pets. The reduced fees will go on through the rest of the month. Humane Society of Sarasota County is located on 15th Street in Sarasota. It's open from 11 a.m. until 6 p.m. Tuesday through Friday, and then 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Back to the kitchen now. John is with his good friend Joe DiMaggio from one of his favorite restaurants, Cafe Barboso in Sarasota.
I do feel honored to call Joe one of my friends. And,
Same here, pal.
And I'll tell you what, I have become a regular in your restaurant as well. Love the place, love your food. And we were just talking about food just now, swapping recipes, and he told me if I ever set foot in his kitchen, it's out the door.
Not true.
What are you cooking for us today, Joe?
So this is for the gents to impress their chicks.
Okay.
Right? You know,
Always important?
Always important. Yes. Really simple, very easy, minimalistic ingredients, right? You can go to the fresh market and get your scallops. These are large, dry scallops.
Those are gorgeous.
Aren't they giant?
Gorgeous.
Look at the size
Look at
of those.
It's amazing. Like a steak.
Absolutely. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some white miso, right? And
yeah, there's two different kinds, right? There's white and red. Is that the other one?
Yeah.
Is there any taste difference that we should be concerned about? Or?
Nah.
Just
nah.
go ahead and
I
use
like using white because it just offsets, you know, everything that all the sauces that I use with it. The red is a little more, you know.
Stands out there.
Stands out.
Yeah.
So we put some, like a half a teaspoon on each.
Okay.
Right? This is how simple it is. Just rub it on there and then get sugar in the raw, right? And just put a little bit of, like a quarter teaspoon on each one, right?
Is this going to like add to the sear when you put the
Oh
sugar
yeah,
on?
it gives it
Yes,
that great caramelization,
I
right?
love that on scallops.
So then we just put them face down, right?
What are you cooking in here?
Teflon pan and a little bit of clarified butter.
Clarified butter. Oh
Right.
man, doing
Now,
it right.
You don't want to cook, definitely don't want to overcook scallops, right? So you want to just go like maybe a minute and less, right? On
Is that
each side.
per side? Okay.
Per side, right? Because you want to, you want a little opaque in the middle. And then we're making a sauce, right? Of a half a cup of white wine, half a cup of white wine vinegar, and a little bit of ice cold butter, right? You let it reduce down.
Ice cold butter? Why is
Ice
that?
cold, because it'll make the sauce creamier.
Oh, okay.
Takes a longer time to melt.
Like a thickening agent.
Yes, right? And then put a little bit of tarragon in there.
All right.
You can throw that whole thing right in. Boom. Simple. Roasted carrots, roasted potatoes, right? Now look at the color on these.
Oh man, that's what I'm talking about.
Right? Is that stunning?
Oh, it's
and the smell, man. Jesus.
I don't know what it is about scallops, though, but boy, when you get that kind of crust on them, they just become like candy.
They are. It's like it's like fish candy.
Yep.
Right? So what I do, gentlemen, you want to watch because you want to impress the chicks that you know what you're doing. A little carrot, a little potato, a little carrot, right? Put them right in there. Very simple. We serve this at Cafe Barboso. It rocks. People go crazy for this. We do it. You could do it over saffron risotto. You could do it just right on a plate with just the sauce.
Speaking of the cafe, any spots available open tonight? It's tough to get a reservation. I know you're almost booked out, but you maybe have a few spots open up outside,
we left a few for walk-ins.
Okay.
Right? And if you know Frankie.
Frankie, yeah.
Frankie Bumps,
yeah.
right?
He'll take care of you?
Yeah, you just have to mention his name.
Just don't ask for Frankie the waiter. Is that
No, Frank the waiter's the worst. We leave him outside.
That's one thing about Joe's Place. He always makes you feel welcome. You always feel like family there.
Right on.
And the painting's so amazing. They have incredible live painters.
Every night, live
amazing
artists.
things.
So this is what we do. We get about 3/4 tablespoons of the tarragon butter sauce, right? Right? Put it right on top. Okay? Really simple, pal, right?
Just a reminder, the recipe for it on our website.
Absolutely.
MySuncoast.com. Fish is great. It's light because you don't want to get too stuffed on Valentine's Day.
That's right. A little Prosecco and some cherries.
Here's to you, brother. And your lovely wife.
Thank you.
Joanne,
Yours
here's
also.
to you. Cheers.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on MySuncoast.com for Chef Judy's favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at MySuncoast.com/dining.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
The kitchen is where life happens. Minnesota Flooring now offers a wide variety of beautiful quality craft-made cabinetry to make sure the heart of your home reflects your style. Visit us today at our new kitchen and bath cabinetry locations.
In town? On the town, The Mark offers landmark living in the center of everything you love about Sarasota. Priced from the 700s, spacious residences and elevated club-level amenities create a private oasis in the sky. Promenade shopping and dining put the best of downtown downstairs. Sales gallery open daily at the corner of Pineapple and State Street just south of Main. The Mark, Sarasota. Presented by Coulter.
Ace is a place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Does it really matter what type of light bulb you use?
We have a huge selection of bulbs. I gave Stella LEDs because they can last up to 20 years.
Ace is a place that knows a lot can change in 20 years. Except these light bulbs.
Hi. Oh, sure.
Don't miss these February Red Hot buys on Wild Bird Food and Scott's Bonus S Weed and Feed. 6 convenient Sarasota locations and now open in Bradenton, Northport, and soon Osprey.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Go ahead. Make a fashion statement. Demand something more than just ordinary. Capture elegance in every turn and drive with flair. Where beautiful styling is standard. Stop in and take a test drive. I'll guarantee you'll never go back to plain vanilla again. The all-new 2017 Fiat 500 starting at $14,999. Only at Sunset Fiat in Sarasota.
Live from our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Welcome back. Less than a month in office and President Trump's national security advisor is off the job. Michael Flynn resigning last night amid growing questions over his conversations with a top Russian diplomat. But the sudden resignation has only raised more questions about who knew what and when. ABC's Kenneth Moten explains from Washington.
President Trump's national security advisor, Michael Flynn, out. This morning at the White House, the president ignored shouted questions about Flynn. Late last night, the resignation letter. Flynn made it clear he was quitting because he had misled Vice President Pence and other senior officials about conversations last December with the Russian ambassador. The phone calls happened right as President Obama hit Russia with sanctions over interfering in the election. Pence repeated the false information on national TV. It turns out the Justice Department knew about Flynn's lie through surveillance of the Russian ambassador and alerted the White House 3 weeks ago. But did the president know?
I can't reveal what the White House knew or didn't know and who in the White House knew or didn't know.
The president's response? A tweet. The real story here is why there are so many illegal leaks coming out of Washington. Congressional Democrats demanding answers and investigations. Republicans also starting to react.
Obviously, there's a administration that is in significant disarray as far as national security is concerned, and they need to fix that.
As soon as they realize that they were being misled by their national security advisor, they asked for his resignation. I can't speak to the rest of the circumstances.
Russian lawmakers are outraged about Flynn's resignation, calling it the result of anti-Russian paranoia in the U.S. For now, retired Lieutenant General Keith Kellogg will serve as the acting national security advisor. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, Washington.
Those traveling out of Virginia don't have to worry about President Trump's travel ban stopping them. A federal judge granting a preliminary injunction barring the administration from implementing its travel ban on the state. But it only applies to people who live in Virginia or those who attend or work at a public university there. The judge there says an unconstitutional religious bias is at the heart of this travel ban. She also writes that the president's executive power does not mean absolute power. New this afternoon, animal welfare groups are pushing SeaWorld for more information on how one of the prized orcas died. Tilikum died from a bacterial pneumonia back in January. Animal welfare groups want to know where the infection came from and if the 36-year-old killer whale had other injuries. Tilikum is the same orca that killed a trainer at the Orlando park. It was profiled also in the documentary Blackfish, which helped sway public opinion against keeping killer whales in captivity. Details about deaths of whales and dolphins in captivity are shielded from the public thanks to a Marine Mammal Protection Act. SeaWorld says Tilikum's tissues are being now used in studies that will be published when complete. An overnight delay for passengers aboard a Royal Caribbean cruise ship. Passengers spent the night stuck at Port Canaveral after Coast Guard inspectors found safety issues on board the ship. The delay had to do with the life-saving equipment on board, but not the ship's engine. The Majesty of the Seas ship was supposed to leave Monday afternoon for the Bahamas. Royal Caribbean apologized to its guests on Twitter and asked for patience. An update this afternoon on a missing Alaskan crabbing boat. The search has been called off for the vessel. It went missing in the icy Bering Sea early Saturday morning after an emergency signal was received from the ship's radio beacon. 6 fishermen were on board. Searchers found the device in a debris field along with an oil slick, life ring, and buoys, but no signs of the crew. In California, efforts to repair the country's tallest dam continue. Crews are dropping 3 to 5 ton bags of rocks in the massive holes of the main and emergency spillways in hopes of keeping the area stable. Those holes opened Sunday and eroded land around the dam's spillway. Back in 2005, 3 environmental companies warned state officials about potential problems with this dam. They even suggested it be armored because, according to them, spillways should never be designed so that they might erode. Water levels in the lake are dropping, but the worst is still feared.
What we're looking at is approximately a 30-foot wall of water that would be coming out of the lake.
I don't know how safe it really is. That's my issue. I just don't know now that I see everything going on.
Nearly 200,000 people are under evacuation orders and still not able to go home. NASA is narrowing down its picks for its next Mars rover mission. 3 possible landing sites were chosen at a workshop in California last week. Their names are Northeast Syrtis, Jezero Crater, and Columbia Hills. All of the sites have something in common. They used to have water. NASA plans to send its still under development robot called the Mars 2020 rover to the red planet in July of the year 2020. Its goal is to search for signs of past life on Mars and determine how dangerous it would be for humans to explore the red planet.
Yeah, pretty dangerous, I would think.
I think a little bit, yeah. John is back with our forecast and science commentary.
You know, going back to the story about the D'Orville Dam, I think one of the things that's important to remember is that dam was built before computers, you know, so it was kind of all worked out on paper. So it was tough to predict. Plus, it was at a time when really we didn't have as much empirical evidence as we now have about climate change and what it means to storms and how storms are getting wetter, you know. And so this is a pretty remarkable effort, I guess, to try and to shore this thing up with bags of rocks at a time. I'm amazed they can do that. They can keep up with that.
Exactly. As well as getting rid of the water that's behind it.
It's phenomenal.
I mean, the weight of that water, just imagine.
Oh, I mean, we're talking about if it breaches, you know, 1 million gallons a second rushing down that river. I mean, just tremendous amounts of water, plus another 6 inches of rain possible by the end of the week with another storm system moving on shore. Yeah, it's just phenomenal.
The extremes there.
That plume of that atmospheric river.
Yeah.
We're looking at some pretty quiet conditions around here. The ospreys are having a great time up in their nest today. Been seeing them 2 by 2 for most of the morning. I guess one of them maybe went off for a little bit of lunch, bring back maybe a little fish dinner up there. But as far as rainfall goes, I don't think we're looking at that. We're having actually a little break in the clouds from time to time. So the Lakewood Ranch cam showing those breaks in what was an overcast sky. Oh, they're back. Now they're back again, the ospreys. Anyway, go check them out on mysuncoast.com. It's kind of fun to watch. A little bit of showery activity out in Gulf waters. Don't expect to see much over land. Daytime highs today top out in the upper 70s. It's going to be kind of humid today. We got showers on the way tomorrow, though. We'll talk about that and take a look at the beach forecast this afternoon coming up in just a few. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. Happening today, we could soon know if our interest rates will be going up again in the near future. Federal Reserve Chair Janet Yellen is on Capitol Hill delivering her semi-annual testimony to Congress. Economists will be carefully dissecting her words to determine whether or not there will be a raise in the rates. Lawmakers are also preparing to ask her how the Fed might react to the economic programs President Trump is preparing to unveil soon, which remain mostly unknown. Yellen has said she favors raising interest rates gradually so it will not derail the economic recovery. Former First Lady Michelle Obama doesn't have to worry about her prized vegetable garden going away at the White House. First Lady Melania Trump says she plans to maintain the White House kitchen garden. While touring a Japanese garden this past Saturday in Delray Beach, Florida, the new First Lady declared herself a caretaker and nurturer. She promises to preserve one of her predecessor's signature projects. The gardens are also known as the Lady's Kitchen Garden and the Rose Garden. It was first made in the year 1800, but Mrs. Obama brought new life to it when she became First Lady. Most of the produce used at the White House, by the way, and the events there are supplied by that garden. A California couple is preparing for their big day today, but instead of a big cake, fancy dress, and a large guest list, they're using their wedding as a chance to put food on the table for 1 million people. Darsha Phillips has their story.
We should have this poster framed up on a wall.
Poonam and Nishkam are going over their final details for their wedding on February 14th.
I think this is really nice because it just focuses on the hope message.
The decor definitely straying from the traditional.
The notion of a big traditional Indian wedding didn't really feel like it fit us.
Instead of throwing a week-long lavish Indian wedding, Poonam and Nishkam rallied behind a cause, feeding the children in Cameroon affected by Boko Haram violence.
For 50 cents, you could give a day's rations to a child in a conflict zone.
What money we would have spent on a wedding, you know, by putting it into something that really, it's not just for one day. These school meals, it's providing both nourishment for a year.
The couple used their wedding money, $20,000, to fund 40,000 school meals through the World Food Program's Share the Meal app. Poonam and Nishkam didn't stop there. They launched a campaign encouraging family and friends and the community to join their team, Million Meals for Love, and raise 1 million meals before their civil service wedding on Valentine's Day.
It's never been easier to donate. And so right now you have 20 times more smartphones than you have hungry children in the world.
Children that don't have a voice and they don't have advocates. And so to be able to bring awareness to that for us has been deeply fulfilling.
The couple says this way they can honor their love and start their life together by helping others and hopefully inspiring some along the way.
We have the ability and a choice that we can actually do for others, even with significant life milestones, whatever is in our means.
What a great start that couple has. We wish them all the best. When we come back, John will have another look at our forecast, and then retirement can get pretty boring sometimes, but one local senior center is working to keep up the momentum later in life. Details next in A Place We Call Home.
ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you weeknights at 5. Are you a food lover, restaurant goer, or home cook? Then check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, and helpful step-by-step videos. And you'll love the restaurant guide with direct links to your favorite Suncoast eateries. Whether you're cooking in or dining out, whet your appetite with tasty tips from Chef Judy at mysuncoast.com/dining.
Attention blood clot filter patients. Surgically implanted blood clot filters are potentially life-threatening. Some filters are prone to breaking, resulting in pieces of the filter moving through the body and causing internal bleeding. If you had surgery to implant a blood clot filter, you may be entitled to a cash award, even if you haven't suffered side effects yet. Call the Gold Shield Group now, 888-747-5291, to see if you qualify for a cash award, 888-747-5291.
Florida's last private island is a waterfront lifestyle like no other. This is Harbor Isle, just 5 minutes from the sugar sand beaches of Anna Maria Island. This sun-splashed paradise invites you to enjoy natural adventures and all the recreation of a tropical resort. Island coach homes and waterfront condos are now available from the high 400s. Don't miss the Luxury by the Bay event, Saturday, January 21st from noon till 4 p.m. at Harbor Isle. Water ski show, luxury cars, wine tasting, model home tours, and more.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
We're looking at a very sticky kind of afternoon. 74-degree the air temperature, dew point now in the 60s, mid-60s almost. And I think by the end of the day, we'll be there. Mix of sun and clouds, a little bit of sun poking out between the clouds now. We had mostly cloudy skies to start off the day. 77 Wauchula, 78 Arcadia, 76 Myakka, 75 Parrish, Bradenton, 76 Lakewood Ranch. Northport coming in at 76 degrees. We have 71 degrees in Inglewood, 73 degrees in Venison, 69 degrees Longboat Key. Not a lot of rain shower activity in our neck of the woods yet, but man, are they getting hammered in Texas. Texas, Louisiana, seeing a line of strong storms forming across a cold front that's attached to a low pressure area. Now, a warm front is draped across the northern part of the state of Florida, having lifted northward across our region. Now we're kind of in that warm, humid sector before the cold front advances into it. Back to the west, high pressure ridge over a lot of the country, including the mid-Atlantic, the Northeast. Now back to the west, this is the secondary low pressure area that I was talking about that's going to bring California even more rainfall over the course of the next several days, probably starting on Wednesday into Thursday. That's when the rains will really start to pour there. Speaking of rains, we're going to get some good storms around here as well. While there are tornado watches currently up for parts of Texas and Louisiana, I think our main threat from these storms will probably be gusty winds and small hail, and particularly I think in North Florida and the Panhandle closest to that center of low pressure. Nevertheless, as that front comes through and that line of storms forms, we will have the potential for some stronger storms around drive time tomorrow. Warm afternoon today, especially factoring in the humidity, which is on the increase, but dry skies. And as we head into the evening period, should be nice with some sky poking through the clouds and a nice breeze near the beaches, keeping things a little bit cooler. Sun-cloud mix, but as I mentioned, no rain. Like I said, that's not the case back to the west where there is a severe weather threat closing in on New Orleans right now. If you're traveling to that airport later in the day, yeah, it could be some slow going. There may see some ground traffic delays because of those big storms. For us, the frontal boundary that brought us all the cloud cover kind of lifting north now, and we're a little bit in the drier section as that kind of convergence of moisture is lifting north along with that warm front, so a little bit of a break. If you look at the Storm Prediction Center's outlook for tomorrow, we are in a marginal risk zone, at least the very bottom edge of it, for the potential of some severe weather around here. We'll monitor it and see how it plays out, but I suspect the majority of storms that we get will be of the non-severe type. Nevertheless, we'll keep an eye out. Rainfall futurecast shows that moisture lifting north. We get not much rainfall till tomorrow when that line comes through around drive time, and then after midnight, clearing will take place, and I think we'll be looking for a pretty decent Thursday and Friday before another chance of rain comes our way on Saturday. Forecast for today, west wind shifts to the southwest at about 5 to 10 knots. Looking at the extended range forecast, a couple of quiet days after tomorrow's evening storms, followed by another chance of storms on Saturday. Scott?
John, thank you. We continue to celebrate Black History Month. Today we're profiling some well-known politicians in Florida. Joe Lang Kershaw was the first African-American elected to the Florida legislature since the Reconstruction period. His most famous case was Axe the Cane Pole Tax, which succeeded in reversing a state tax on cane pole fishing, a popular form of African-American recreation and food supply. In 1868, Jonathan Clarkson Gibbs became the first African-American to serve on the Florida cabinet as Secretary of State. He later established the state's first public school system in 1873. And here at home, Fred Atkins making his mark by becoming the first African-American city commissioner for the city of Sarasota, as well as the city's first black mayor. Well, Longboat Key is one of the wealthiest and most beautiful communities in the country, but even in paradise, you need friends and enriching activities. ABC 7's Linda Carson explains in a place we call home.
Aging in Paradise is a senior resource center in the heart of Longboat Key.
And our goal is really to raise the quality of life, just in every way, shape, and form, to provide opportunities for wonderful solutions and exciting opportunities.
The average resident on Longboat Key is a little over 71 years old, and the Senior Center focuses on their needs. They bring in a lot of doctors and other experts to speak on various subjects.
Everything from exercise to mental health to, we have a pharmacist that comes out and explains meds and how they interact. We have an attorney that comes out. We have a person that does all of the advanced planning for end of life.
They focus on things that concern seniors.
This week, Dr. Edlin, one of the top sleep doctors in the state of Florida, MD, coming out to help us work through how to get a decent night's sleep.
They have Juvant micro impact platforms, therapy devices that they say ease joint pain and improves recovery, circulation, and balance. They also offer numerous exercise classes.
Of course, there's all the physical things like the Zumba and the Tai Chi and the yoga.
And they offer educational workshops on everything from improving your culinary skills to wills and trusts, using your iPhone, and memory screening. They have a therapy group called Shifting Sands, led by a professional.
That's Mimi Horowitz, and that is a led group discussion for any senior going through a difficult transition.
Bridge is an ongoing favorite, offered several times a week. They don't have memberships, they just charge a small fee for some of their programs. They're trying to provide seniors with the 3 things proven to help them lead a longer and happier life.
Being engaged with other people was number 1. Number 2 was straining the brain, continually learning new things. The final one is to have a purpose, to care about something more than you care about yourself.
The Aging in Paradise Resource Center is located in the Longboat Key Chapel at 6200 Gulf of Mexico Drive. You don't have to live on Longboat Key. You're welcome. Just come on in. Linda Carson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Linda, thank you. Coming up, a popular dating show on ABC is getting a new lead that's breaking down some barriers. And not only can you soon see Beauty and the Beast in theaters, but also on the high seas. Details next in Entertainment News.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com for Chef Judy's favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining. The official Suncoast Storm team at ABC 7. We're here for you.
If you've ever had a bad night's sleep, call and price the new Craftmatic Legacy. It has so much more than other adjustables and still costs up to 50% less. Featuring a rising adjustable pillow rest to support your head, neck, and shoulders, bedside power plugs, under-bed night lights, and more. So call and price one today for less, up to 50% less than Tempur-Pedic, Sleep Number, and other adjustables.
You get so much more and it still costs less. You've got to see how little they cost.
Call 1-800-774-8103. That's 1-800-774-8103. Call now.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC 7's Good Morning Suncoast.
In town? On the town, The Mark offers landmark living in the center of everything you love about Sarasota. Priced from the 700s, spacious residences and elevated club-level amenities create a private oasis in the sky. Promenade shopping and dining put the best of downtown downstairs. Sales gallery open daily at the corner of Pineapple and State Street just south of Maine. The Mark, Sarasota. Presented by Coulter.
Come out to the best party of the season, the Goodwill Mardi Gras Gala on February 28th at Michael's on E. Tickets at experiencegoodwill.org.
As the only certified surgeon of excellence in metabolic and bariatric surgery in the area, Dr. Joseph Chepley has performed more than 1,300 successful bariatric surgeries. Join us on ABC 7 News from 5 to 6:30 p.m. on Thursday, February 23rd. Dr. Joseph Chepley and his talented staff will be taking your phone calls as we discuss what makes someone a good candidate for surgery and the different options available to patients in our area. Thursday, February 23rd.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Contemporary Cabinetry and Closet Concepts. Our strength is in building a relationship with our clients. Locally owned and operated for over 30 years. When you organize your home, you simplify your life. Call today for a free in-home consultation or visit the web at contemporarycabinetry.srq.com.
Luxury for less at Alex Karras Lincoln. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKZ Sports Utility for $249 per month or a 2017 MKZ for $299 per month. We are proud to introduce the newest addition to the Lincoln lineup, the all-new 2017 Lincoln Continental. We have a great selection and ready for immediate delivery. Alex Karras Lincoln, affordable luxury, winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award, serving Florida's Suncoast since 1978. We're located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
History is being made on ABC's The Bachelorette, the network casting its first African-American lead. Current Bachelor contestant Rachel Lindsay will headline the upcoming season. The 31-year-old is an attorney from Dallas. ABC has been criticized for a lack of diversity in its 21 season on The Bachelor and the 13 seasons of The Bachelorette. This new season of The Bachelorette starring Lindsay will premiere on May 22nd. Well, naked women are back in Playboy magazine, the publication ending its year-old ban on the nudity that made the magazine famous. It was banned because the magazine's managers felt the content had become passé and in an era of easily accessible online porn. But now, the manager's saying the ban was a mistake. Playboy celebrated the reversal on Twitter and Facebook with the hashtag #NakedIsNormal. And it's a tale as old as time, and it's coming to Disney cruise ships. Disney is working on creating a brand new musical production for Beauty and the Beast for passengers. The Walt Disney Theater will be transformed to bring the animated classic to life. It will debut during the Disney Dream Voyage in early November. Disney's live-action adaptation premieres in theaters March 17th. Finally, a Wisconsin bakery is finding a way to cater to those who may not have a sweetheart today. They're selling cookies and cupcakes with special messages just for singles and those who might not be a fan of Valentine's Day. Phrases include "love stinks" and "Netflix is my love."
You know, not everybody has a Valentine, and some people don't enjoy this time of year, so we don't want to leave them out. So we did some anti-Valentine cookies and cupcakes for them, and they've been quite a hit.
The owner of the bakery says she's usually closed on Mondays, but she opened up yesterday to sell the treats ahead of Valentine's Day. Something for everyone, right?
I guess so.
Yeah.
Just take it with a grain of salt, you know? And just remember to tell everybody in your life that you love that you appreciate you being in their lives.
Absolutely.
We're looking at a pretty decent day today. If you're going to be out and about and celebrating at the beaches, everything looks pretty good there. I don't think we'll see anything in the way of rainfall. Maybe a little humid, but that's okay. And over the next several days, we'll be monitoring tomorrow's situation for the potential of some stronger storms around here, probably around drive time, heading home in the evening, and then a couple of nice, cooler, crisp days. I think lower relative humidity before moisture returns rapidly on Friday.
Yeah, it looks nice though on Thursday.
Ospreys are having a great time out there. They're back in their nest.
We expect an egg any day now.
Yes, we do.
Yep, we'll keep a watch. Have a great day, everyone.